Welcome to class, everybody. It's good to have everyone here. Today we are going to have a little bit of a technology lesson, and our primary topic is going to be about culture. So our objectives are these. Uh, you as the students are going to discuss the culture of the United States using our target language, which is English, and you're also going to submit a video on the technology platform YouTube. Now you're also going to submit a brief 10-minute discussion of a culture on the United States on YouTube. So let's begin and let's talk a little bit about culture. Do you know what culture is? Any ideas? Okay, very good. Yeah, I mean, the way people live, the practices or habits of a certain area or group of people. Very good. What about this question? Do Americans have just one culture? I see a lot of head shaking no. Very good. And we can see it just from the people in our classroom that it seems like we all have different backgrounds. And thus, we could also say we have different cultures as well. So I was born in Indiana, raised in Tennessee, and now I live in New York City. So what is my culture? What do you think? Okay. Pretty good guesses, everybody. Pretty good. So I personally would consider myself to be a mix of some Southern culture as well as some Northeastern culture from the United States. What are some of the cultures that you can think of in the United States? Very good, very good. Okay. So I hear a lot of different locations or places. For example, some of you said New Orleans type of culture, um, the Southern culture, or California style of culture. So those are all very good ideas. See, there are many different cultures within the United States. Some are even foreign cultures or groups of people who have immigrated to the United States. So in New York City, where we live, there are areas called Little Italy and Chinatown that perfectly represent these large communities of those people that have immigrated from another place and now live in the United States. It's very important that we recognize that the United States is not filled with just one type of people. So, for example, um, we need to keep in mind that the types of words that we use may have different meanings depending on where we are within the country or depending on what the culture is that we are predominantly surrounded by. If you all have your computers there, let's take a look at the link that I provided at the beginning of class. You'll notice this article is about 25 words that have a different meaning depending on where you are. I'm just going to grab a couple of these examples. So number 2 is a carbonated sweetened beverage. Now in the north, perhaps where we live or other major metropolitan cities, you would have someone ask for a pop, right? That's kind of familiar to a lot of you. But in the South, any type of soda or sweetened carbonated beverage is generalized as a soda or a Coke, even though a Coke is a specific brand. So in the North, you could say, give me my favorite pop, give me a pop, Mountain Dew. But in the South, you would say, I want a soda, or could you get me a Coke? And then someone might ask you, well, what kind? Then you would tell them the brand. Number 3 is a group of people. So in the North, someone would say, hey, you guys, or hey, everybody. But in the South, you may hear the phrase, hi, y'all. So this is a very, very clear example of culture and difference in expressions based on where you live. Y'all is a very southern expression that is typified in movies and in people all over the United States, but especially within the region of the South. Let's go scroll down a little bit. Tea, like number 9, it says that tea in the north means black tea. But in the south, this is a cold drink consisting of sugar and an aftertaste of tea. So you might, if you've ever been to the southern United States before, people ask for sweet tea or tea. So it's a tea drink, but it is a very sweet drink. So these are very different things depending on where you were raised, what you're accustomed to, and what your culture is. So those are just some of the examples of differences in culture and differences in location. So today we're going to research a few different cultures, and you are all going to work in groups to tell the class about one. So let's take a little bit and let's look at America in 5 different regions on our map on the board. After we look at this map, we will discuss a few of these points, and we will look at some of the more websites that we have provided.